Today, April April 26, 2025, I totally made my mind up now and decided that I gotta be documenting everything that has to do with me transitioning from a general contractor to a full-time trader. I'll be documenting straight from trading small accounts straight up to trading up to becoming a millionaire. So it's like I document each and every step on Instagram and YouTube, right? So this could be like the first video that I could actually put out that has to do with, the charts, knowledge, everything that I have learned from my mentors in trading and in life, and I have read in book. I could just throw all of that into this because I definitely feel like we're in the best time to be able to become millionaires and make like so much amount of money at this point that it not even funny. Like you can make so much amount of money from like 25 to like 20, 30 or something like that. So at this point, I've totally decided that I'm gonna be sharing my knowledge, all of the skills that I have in trading, any other stuff that's related to trading, and any other stuff related to, knowledge with trading and all of the other stuff that could help improve as a human being and all of the other stuff that keep you grounded, keep you disciplined, help you focus and all of that stuff. Like I'm really willing to share my knowledge and document my whole journey from here and onward because I feel like one day I really want it be that my kids could come and see the stuff them that I went through to get from one point to the other point. So it could be super nice and we gonna get into this. And from here, this day, 26th of April of 2025, this is me, Z. I gotta actually take this from one point to the other point and escalate this till I could become a millionaire. It no time to slack no more. So it's like, what else it is to do. The charts there, trading the market, not the most easiest stuff to do and it's not the hardest stuff to do. But if you could implement discipline, focus, risk management, hard work when it comes to back testing, forward testing, gaining more knowledge from people that ahead of you and stuff like that, the market becomes a lot easier than it was if you were trying to do it being an indisciplined person and doing things that you should not be doing at some point. So I definitely go make this super fun and I want to share my knowledge in the same time that I'm growing because sharing my knowledge while on the chart already done had a group that I was sharing my knowledge with and it helped me improve by like 50% or something when it comes to actually zooming in on like going into monk mode on the charts and everything else, working out the charts, making money from the charts and all of that stuff. So I definitely transitioning at this point from general contractor to becoming a full-time trader. So this could be the first video and let's get into it from here. All right, guys. So this is the whole idea, right? For me to like take traders that coming up from the beginners part. If you're a beginner trader, sorry, I'm gonna actually take you from the point that you could learn how to do the markups that has to do with the structure, support and resistance. From there, transitioning to understanding candlesticks, understanding price action, all of these different types of stuff. We gonna actually go into that on this channel. Like, I want be able to I want to be able to teach people how to read the charts, how to understand themselves when it comes to trading. In the same time, while I growing and learning from the bigger guys that actually in trading and stuff like that, and make good profits while doing it, showing it on here, like showing the whole showing everything that has to do with the charts and making profits and transitioning from a general contractor to a full-time trader. That's the whole idea behind this, to document everything that has to do with moving from being a general contractor to a full-time trader. So the first thing we're gonna get into at this point that I want to go over tonight would actually be for us to check and understand the structure of the market. Be and keep this video as short as possible, probably 15 minutes or something, to understand the basic part of trading, which is something super, super important. And if you could understand the structure of the market, it could take you a long way. But we ain't getting into the structure of the market at this point. A lot of people that draw the structure of the market just with with a line or something, but I actually want to do it today with the charts, like actually display a bullish structure and a bearish structure with the charts. So this would actually be what we would consider a bullish structure and a bearish structure of the market, right? So if we actually look at the markets at this point, we can see bullish structure consists on the market creating higher highs and higher lows, right? Bearish structure of the market consists on it creating lower high and lower low. So we are getting into this right now and see what it looks like on the chart to create higher highs and higher lows in the market. So this would be like the market create a high, this inside of this overall higher high points, right? But this would be a higher low point. This would be a higher high point. This would be a higher low point. This is a higher high point. This is a higher low point. It breached this higher low point here, but it come and closed back up and then created a new higher high point. This one came all the way back, failed to take out this higher low point, and then it pushes to the upside. So to make this super more understandable and stuff, I got put it the more simplistic way. So you'll be able to understand the basic part of trade, the basic part of the structure of the market. So the structure of the market is basically higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? This is a bullish structure of the market. This is consists a higher highs and higher lows, and this is what we would call the bullish structure of the market. When the market going to the upside, right? So when the market actually creating bearish structure, it does the opposite. It got lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low, and then a lower high points, right? And it just keep breaching and going to the downside. So this is all the charts does repeatedly over and over again, right? It doesn't do anything really different than this. So if we look at it on the charts, it doesn't display as simple as that seem, right? It creates a lot of different movement in order to create higher lows and higher high points, but it repeats the same thing, right? So if we looking at this market right here, we can see the market come and it started to go higher high, higher low. This is a high because it inside of this higher low point, but this is a higher low. Inside of this higher high point, this is a higher low. This is a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right here, it breached, right? But then it twists, it turned back and went straight up to the upside again because the time frame about this remained bullish. This time frame switched, but the time frame above it remained bullish. That we're gonna get into that in another video, right? But if we could actually see that the market consists on this same repeated pattern over and over, it just the market creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows over and over, right? So if we now look at it on the flip side, which would be the bearish structure of the market, right? Let's look at it on the bearish side of the market. So let's have something as an example that really like stand out more than what we just seen there. That wasn't so much, but this market been bullish for a minute. So this is the gold. This is gold pair. So it actually been bullish for a minute, but let's look into right about around here, right? So when you have in bearish structure, it's like the market that create lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We got the seam low and we got the seam lower high, then we got a lower low, then we got a lower high point here, then we got a lower low point there. So this is what we would consider a bearish structure of the market. The market going down bearish here. So it's like you would be looking to go to that direction when the market actually going that way, right? So my style of trading is actually to follow the structure of the market. Most of the time, it's like 90% of the time, you trade with the structure of the market rather than going against it. So as we can see, that's the bearish structure of the market, right? So how do we know when the market shift from bullish to bearish, right? So we undo it like this. This is the bullish structure of the market. We got higher highs and higher lows point. Then the market, the break, the last higher low point and create, it has to break and create a lower high point and then shift to the other side. Me, personally, I like waiting for the market to break and shift by creating a lower high point if it going bearish and break and create a higher high point, then create a higher low point to then know that the market switched from bearish to bullish or from bullish to bearish, right? So here we switch and then we went bearish, right? So to understand that in a more simplistic way, the last higher low point in the market that's been breached and then it created a new lower high point. Okay, now you have a confirmation that the market switching from bullish structure to bearish structure. Once it take this out, okay, you got a way more conform that now we looking to switch from a bullish structure to a bearish structure. So it created a lower low, then we created a next lower high point. So we all the way now we shifted from bullish to bearish. So that basically understanding when the market shift from bullish to bearish. It really simple, but when the chart's actually moving, it like sometimes it could create some kind of like confusion because you have to stay in tune with not only one time frame, but you have to stay in tune with the higher time frame, which would probably be like the weekly, the daily, then the H4, H1. And sometimes they don't line up. The structure doesn't line up with all of them, right? So you have to actually try to like zoom out, see which one matter the most. Always the the highest time frame that direct you to where the long-term market go be headed, and the lower time frame that direct you to where the short-term direction to be headed. It probably go bearish for say 1 day or two, and then it switch back and go bullish with the weekly and the daily to the upside, or vice versa, right? So if we look at it, this is what it look like when the market shifting from bullish structure to bearish structure. Always when the market shifting from a bullish structure to a bearish structure, it has to take out, it has to break below the last higher low point and create a lower low point than a lower high point. That more of a conform break structure. Some people actually just the wait when the market does this and it just break. They done got it. Okay, we break the structure point and that's it. We looking to go to the upside, right? But sometimes it always don't play out like that. It would break that, then it will come and respect this structure point, and then it come right back down, and then it start to go to the downside again. Sometimes it's just best to be a lot more patient when the market break this, push down, and say we on a bearish structure, the market take out the last lower high point, and then it comes back, respect it, create that. Okay, now we have a conform that the market created a higher low point because it higher than this point. So now the market shifted from bearish to bullish. So we were going down on this side. Now we're going up on this side. So that would basically be breaking down what it is to understand the most simplistic part of the structure of the market and how to know when the market shifting from bullish to bearish while trading with the structure. But it really is super simple if you understand it like that. I could even break that down on the charts and stuff like that to see more of what it would look like, right? So what I does most of the time when trading the market is I use the line, right? Because the line to show you exactly where the structure is, where it headed when it breach and when it not breach, right? So you can see that here the market will go into the upside right here. It created this high point, this higher high point, and then it breached the last higher low point right here. This was the last higher low point here that it breached, and it failed to break about the last lower high point. So that don't indicate to me that the market take out the last higher low point, which were here. This were holding the market to the upside, these 2 points. This would have been the last higher high point, and this would have been, this would have been the last higher low point, and this would have been the last higher high point, right? So that right there indicating us that the market, once the market within this higher low point and this higher high point, you could still look to buy the market to the upside. But once he breached that right here, it's like, okay, we now switching from the looking for buys, and now we looking for sells, because the market don't create this lower high point and then it don't create this lower low point. So now it's like, now at this point it switches from going up to going down, because now we have this lower high point here, and now we have this lower low point here. So now anything within this could easily be looking for a sell. So then the market create, well, a lower low point, a lower high point, a lower low point, a lower high point, and then it keep creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high, and then it keep just transitioning more and more into a bearish structure till right here it actually breached the last lower high point right here. It created a higher low point here, and then it created a higher high point here. Then it created a higher low point here, then a higher high point here. That's the easiest way to see the indication when the market actually shifted from one side to the other side. If you could have a chart that has the line, and then you could have a chart that has the actual candlestick, it shows you when the market actually shifting from one side to the other, right? So when he shifted right here, structure shifted, right? Because the market went from bullish structure, from bearish structure, actually, sorry, from bearish structure to bullish structure. That was super, super clean. Like this whole thing was super clean when he break right there. When he break this piece, this part of the downside structure, we created a higher low, failing to create a lower low below here, but breaking above here and creating a higher high point. So with the patience that you need to trade the market, we could actually just wait for this pullback. You could take a risk entry here if you were looking to trade the market to the upside, but we just basing this whole thing off of the structure. We're not talking about entries and stuff like that. But this is actually white light, the basic part of the market, right? I understand this to the core because I actually back tested this. I actually practiced this for a long, long time. And I made good money actually just trading based off the structure of the market is my style of trading. The structure of the market actually teaches you to stay in line with what price action actually doing most of the time. So we get into more details on understanding what the structure of the market like, because this has to be broken down into many phases to understand it more detail, to more in depth, and understand it with more details to be able to trade that style, right? So we get into that in another video, but beside that, this is just the beginning of the whole Z trading skill set club at this point. So we can actually get into that later on and then take it from there. But beside that, guys, this could be a journey from me taking my career from general contracting to a full-time day trader and making millions of dollars from this on to here. So this is my transition, and this is actually my first video, but we get into more details later on. Beside that, we out. Peace.